Hi Flosstube friends, this is Sherry, the north of the border stitcher, coming to you on Monday, July 5th. I hope you all had a splendid Canada Day if you're in Canada, and if you're in the United States, I hope you had a lovely 4th of July. And if you're from anywhere else around the world, I hope you just had a great week. We had a parade on July 1st, and then we had a cookout here afterwards. And I must say that my grandchildren thoroughly enjoyed the Scrabble quilt. They put it out on the floor, and they spread it out nice and flat, and then everybody found where their name was on the quilt, and they had a great time looking at that. So that was a lot of fun to see them do that. It was very hot over July 1st. We went to the rodeo in the afternoon, and we were so tired from that afterwards that we just kind of fell asleep in our chairs. We missed the fireworks. We heard them outside, but I didn't even go outside to see the fireworks. I did see them the first night on the 30th of June, and that was a lot of fun. So yesterday, the 4th of July, was one of my middle children's birthday. My son Jason turned 37 yesterday. And I also have granddaughter Adrienne, and she turned 8 yesterday. And today, July 5th, is my son-in-law Adam's birthday. So we have a lot of summer birthdays that are one right after another. Let's see. My garden's coming up. All my green beans. I've got green beans, wax beans, burgundy beans, and purple beans. So, and beets. I planted beets, and I have potatoes. So the beans and the beets are all up. Pretty soon I'll have to thin my beets. But I look forward to having some yummy things. You can see that my background is a little different today. I'm coming to you from my sewing room. It used to be a bedroom, but I decided that I would move my normal regular sewing machine and table in here because I was cramped in the computer room with my husband, and it was getting messy in there. So if it gets messy in here, it's okay. But so this is my sewing room. My quilt back there in the background is part of a block of the month that Cheryl Wall put out quite a few years back. That's the one that Shirley helped me make this one as well, my friend Shirley here in town. But instead of making a big one that was like 80 inches by 80 inches, I'm turning mine into 3 separate wall quilts so that I can use them different places in my house. And as you can see, I don't have things put away yet, so I don't really sit on my couch to do any of my stitching. But I do have a very small TV with a VCR in it. That's how old I am. And through the weekend, as I worked on things, I watched a whole lot of videos. So it's been kind of fun to watch movies while I stitch. And getting to my stitching, I do have a few finally finished objects. This lovely little sampler here is called Harvest Alphabet by Heart in Hand. It's got a cute little pumpkin on there. I finished that with some of my orange rickrack. Made another little pillow out of that to go in my pillow bowl. So, okay, so that's Harvest Alphabet. Got that done. I also finished up my Happy Canada Day. This was a freebie off of Tiny Modernist. And I stitched that a few weeks back. And I was only going to put fabric on one side to make a small pillow out of it. And then I realized, well, the Canada flag has red on both sides. So I decided to make it into a bigger Canada flag. And then I used some of my Freedom, some really cute patriotic kind of fabric on the back. So anyway, that's another full finish that I had this week. I feel pretty proud of those. I didn't burn myself with my glue gun or cut myself again with my rotary cutter, although it's still healing. Another finish that I had is my Flag City, USA. It's not fully finished, but the stitching is finished. This was a free chart from lawdda.com. You can find that. This is what it looks like. That was a cute little stitch. Didn't take very long. So it's only 63 by 71. And I did it on 16 count. I think it's French lace. So I think I'm going to frame this one, put it in a little square thing that I have. Actually, it's not very square. Anyway, so I finished that. So in time to come, that will be another project that I show you. Okay, I'm just going to put these on the floor. Don't have a whole lot of room right here on my table. Okay, so I had a couple new starts this week, so I want to show you those. Here's another one that was from the Tiny Modernist. It is the Moon Phase Bell Pull. So it was a digital download. This is the one that I want to make that I am making for my granddaughter who lives in Texas. And this is the one that I'm using the fabric, the Ada cloth that I dyed like a week or so ago. So this is my start on it. The bottom is like black with the trees, and then there's like a half diamond design that goes the whole way around it. So I'm working on the darker parts right now. And this was my start this week. And that's just on, I don't know if that was 14 count. If so, it shrunk a little bit, but anyway. So that's a new start. And now that it is July, I talked last week about Jolly July or Christmas in July. Different people call it different things, but a lot of people are just stitching on Christmas projects during the month of July. So I had a new start on this. This is called Our Savior's Birth. I got a fair amount of it done. It's just on 14 count Ada that I tea-dyed. And this is, I'll show you the design. It is a complimentary design from Plum Street Samplers. I don't know how many years ago it was put out, but it's just called Our Savior's Birth. And I'm just using all the called for flosses. So I think that's a nice little Christmas project. So I've been working on that. I enjoy that. My other Christmas whip that I talked about would be my 12 Days of Christmas, which is my McCall's 1983 cross-stitch pattern. That's kind of what it looks like. This is the one that I said is the hand-drawn pattern, so it's a little tricky to see, but I've been working on it. So I've actually enjoyed this. I worked on 2 of the Piper's piping and a couple of the arms of the 9 ladies dancing. So my original goal, I said, for this month of July was to do 1 complete geese or lady or ring or bird or men, leaping, whatever. So my goal is to do one a day. So I haven't quite averaged that, but I got like 2 and part of another one done. So I'm actually enjoying that. I'm doing this on linen. I think it's 32 count. This is the first thing I've done on any kind of really small and not quite even weave. So this is not a goal to finish this week, but I mean this year. So, but it will get done. I've seen people have like little doodad things that, like magnets that pull their things more taut. Like I like to watch Chrisxrossstitch, and on his things he's got these little magnets. I don't have any of those, but I'm thinking I should probably get some because that would pull it a little more taut while I work on that. So not quite sure even where to get those. Anyway, another project. This is my stitch along that I was hosting on Instagram and on a Facebook page. My O Canada. So I got a little more of the border done. I got the A on both ends. I got that done this week. This I'm trying to get done by Labor Day. This is what it looks like. It's an instant printable download from coolerdesign.com. And there are a few other stitchers on the Facebook page CanadianSAL that are doing this with me. And that's enjoyable to sit and work on that in the evening. So, all right. The other thing that I was going to start, like, I went online and I looked for Pussy Willow Ada cloth. And I found it on Etsy, but it was sold. And I'm like, oh, who knew? I should have done that a few weeks ago. So then I thought I'd get some Rit dye and dye it a really light green, gray kind of. And then a friend of mine said, oh, well, I have some fabric that might work for you. And so I have a friend named Lorraine, and she gave me this piece. I don't know. It's kind of like almost like a mint. It's kind of hard to tell the color, but it's like a greenish gray. And I could probably do them on this. There's 6 of them. See, and you can see that they were stitched on Pussy Willow Ada, but it looks kind of white, so it's like barely gray, I think. And so I might start to stitch one of them. Here's the threads. It's probably not going to show up very well. So I'm going to try stitching one and see how I like it. The only thing is that that's 18 count that it calls for, and this is 14 count. And so then they're going to come out to be like 6 inches by 6 inches rather than 4.5 by 4.5. Because the other week I showed in my some of my thrifting haul that I got some wooden box things that I was going to put them in. And if I do them all on this greenish 14 count, then I have to get bigger frames. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with that yet, but this is a beautiful piece of fabric. I might do, like I think I showed a pattern last week of my cats. It's from alforest.com. This is it. See, it's a cat, and then it has other colors, so different cats. So this is an 18 count pearl gray, this fabric that I thought maybe I'd use. I don't know, maybe I should just do them all on pearl gray. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Because this is like really light. Like it's not very gray. So that might be a good thing to do my songs of the season on. I got this at my local yarn and stitching shop. It's called Knitting Time here in Lethbridge. And so I got that there. So maybe I'll just go get another piece. That way I have enough. And I might do my cats then on this green. So this again was from Al Forest Embroidery. Chris talked about that. Like they have some beautiful free designs. While I'm talking about free designs, oh, where did I put it? I just printed off. I might have to pause, but anyway. Just so not organized. Okay, other whips, my quilting whips. I've got one because there's only one other thing that I've been working on, and that is my Stars and Stripes Forever wall hanging. This is what it looks like. And this is how much I've got done. So I've got all the pinwheels together and sewn on the sides. I didn't square up my half square triangles when I made this, and I sewed them all together, and then it was like 3 inches longer than the flag part. And then I realized that my squares, instead of being 7-inch squares, needed to be 6.5-inch squares. So that's part of what I did on Saturday. Was I ripped out all the seams, then re-squared my pinwheels and cut off a 1/4 inch from about every side, sewed them all back together, and then they fit. So that was what I did on that this week. And then I've cut the fabric that's going to go along the top and the bottom. It's kind of like this barnwood look. And this is the fabric that the letters will be ironed onto. My Stars and Stripes, I showed these letters a few weeks ago too. So I've got all my letters cut out. Stars and is all in this star fabric. And the stripes, Stars and Stripes is all in the blue. And the word forever is in stripes. So hopefully by next week I'll have that all ironed on, and I can show you that. Might have the whole top done. And then along the bottom are these prairie points. I didn't have stripes, but I did have red, white, and blue with stars on it. So I thought, oh, that's pretty patriotic. I'll just, sew them along the bottom. They will go like down here along the bottom when it's done. So I got a lot of that done this week. I was pretty happy with that. About time probably to start another quilt project, or at least put one on the long arm. Maybe another one of my Cheryl Wall ones that needs to be finished. I'll do that. So that's my quilting whip that's going on here. And I realized the other day that I didn't do any freebies, like tell you what kind of patterns you can get free online. I didn't do that last week. I'm terribly sorry about that. But the ones I want to show you this week are pumpkins, because although it's Christmas in July right now, I'm just about ready to start stitching some that have fall like pumpkins and Halloween. I do have my Autumn Town. I haven't worked on that at all, so that's why I'm not showing you that one today. But the free ones that I have today are from BriannaKDesigns.com. I'm not sure if I showed you these before. I'm not, but I could have. So this is what this one looks like. And then she has another one here that's called Hello Pumpkin. And then you can also get the, you know, printed out in symbols. They just used DMC floss, like 3 or 4 colors, that's it. And then here's one that's like a gingham. Isn't that cute? So a gingham pumpkin. And again, these are all by BriannaKDesigns.com. Let's see if I can hold this still. Okay. And I'll mention that in my show notes. But those are just 3 pumpkin charts if you want to do anything like that. I did have a few more giveaways. Not more. I haven't done any giveaways before. But I've got 2 giveaways that a subscriber of mine had sent me a few kits in Happy Mail that she no longer needed. And one of them was the welcome basket. Comes with the fabric, the thread, the diagram, and needle. And the other one was Find the Beauty. And everybody was supposed to mention either the word welcome or the word beauty in their comments if they wanted to be entered to win these 2. And I did do that earlier today. I had to figure out how to do that. All right. Thank you for everyone who commented and entered. I like reading all the comments, and I've been making new friends on Flosstube. So I used the YouTube picker, and for the welcome, the winner for that is Karima Dawood, Dawood. So Karima, if you want to send me your address, I'll get that sent out to you. And the beauty one with the butterflies, the winner of that one is Nana Sue Stitches. So if you will contact me, my email address will be down in the show notes. So if you send me an email with your addresses, I will get those 2 sent out to you. So I am still hoping to get up to 500 subscribers so that I can give away this whip bag that I made. So let your friends know about me and my escapades here in Canada and the stitching, and I would love to grow my subscribership. So that's pretty much all I have to show you today, unless I'd introduce you to my cats, but they're not even in here right now. So I will be back again next week and hopefully have more quilting and stitching to show you. And so have a great week. Stay cool and happy stitching, and I'll talk to you next week. I forgot that I wanted to ask a question of everybody, and you can give me your answers. But a lot of people I've seen like to use Q-snaps when they do their stitching. I've never used a Q-snap, and I was just wondering what you like about it, that it's better than a hoop. I've always done a lot of hoop stitching, and like I showed you with my Christmas one, and I'm doing a scroll. This is a big, long, wide scroll, which had to be that way to fit the width of my fabric on there. But tell me what you like about Q-snaps and I'm interested in possibly getting some. So like, what size do you use? What's the benefit of it? And like, do you make your own grime guards, the fabric that goes around the Q-snaps? Like, um, would I make mine? Is there someone who sells them? Are there tutorials? I haven't really looked anything up about it. So I'm interested in finding about Q-snap. So any recommendations you would give me this week would be great. Thanks. Okay, happy stitching.